Cast your mind back to 2015, a time where the internet looked more like this.
And his name is Bullshit! What up?
You are currently browsing GameJolt, an indie game website. You're scrolling through until a certain game catches your eye. A game called Feed and Grow Fish. That's right everyone, today we are looking at Feed and Grow Fish. Now, this game is probably the reason most of you are actually subscribed to my channel, so this one's quite a personal, close to home game to be covering in a retrospect today. Feed and Grow Fish is a survival game developed by Old Blood. Well, Old B1 Ood, if you want to read it literally. An alpha demo of the game released on sites such as GameJolt in late 2015, with an early access version of the game coming onto Steam in January 2016. As of today, the date I'm recording this video, which is the 12th of May 2023, the game is still in early access on Steam and honestly appears to have been abandoned.
Wow, what a twist.
Not really. Now, the game presumably entered development sometime in early 2015, although there isn't really any clear documentation of when this could have started. However, it's safe to assume because a very early version of the alpha game came out mid to late 2015, so that would make sense. Feed and Grow was quite a family-based game.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Not in just the sense that families with kids got the game to play with their kids, but also the developers themselves were a family. The development team consisted of two brothers, Robert, who handled programming, and Dominic, who handled the graphics. They're both from Slovakia, and their sister was also part of this team, just not quite as directly. She handled marketing and business stuff. Now, to get a clearer picture of the story of Feed and Grow Fish, we must once again travel back in time to 2015. What you are now casting your eyes upon is the alpha version of Feed and Grow Fish, which is still available to download from GameJolt to this day. Now, it's weirdly similar but also very different at the same time. Now, I've checked the file as I've downloaded it, and the last time that this was modified before being uploaded to GameJolt was the 29th of November 2015. A whole 8 years ago. Well, nearly 8 years ago.
No way! Yes way!
Now, as you can see, the game does look very much so like a game you would expect to find on GameJolt or itch.io, a very basic, bare bones, Unity asset made game. But something about this one really stuck with people on the internet. One could say that they fed and they grew off of this game. Now, this is the part of the story where I come in. It wasn't long before YouTubers across the world started picking up this game in its alpha condition and playing it for the masses. I was merely 15 years old when this game came out, so I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. My computer was a complete potato, I had no editing prowess, no audio skills, I was just a 15-year-old kid going through puberty, recording some really awful commentary over a fish game. Spam click. Nom nom. See, XP for days. Now, as you can clearly tell from that clip, I was not the most charismatic person on planet Earth, nor did I have more than about 15 frames per second, and you could very clearly hear every single mouse click and the background noise of my lovely bedroom. But yet, this video went on to get 37,000 views, and when I uploaded this I must have had about 50 subscribers, so 15-year-old me was absolutely gobsmacked, over the moon, excited as... This takes us up to the end of 2015. Now, the developers had actually got in contact with me just to say thank you for playing the game, because at this point I'd already milked content for all it was worth. I'd done like 8 or 9 videos on just this alpha demo alone, so you know, I was in a good place for them, and I decided to reply, seeing if they wanted to have a kind of informal chat, interviewee kind of thing over the top of some gameplay. To my surprise, they actually did agree. Now, I then uploaded a video basically asking people to give questions, stuff to talk about, whatever they wanted to ask, I would bring up in this video. Bearing in mind, you've seen the quality of the content that I was making, so it wasn't good. Now, we hopped on Skype, had a chat, I played some game, I asked them questions about the game, where it was headed, when the early access on Steam was coming, so on and so forth. And they were lovely, they were so nice. Now, the brothers didn't really speak any English, but their sister, she basically did most of the talking. And everyone was just lovely, it was a whole nice time. It was like, I thought I was going places, man, like I was loving it. But it was just very professional of them, and they were very nice people to speak to. We didn't hear much from them for a little while, and then I edited together the interview thing, sent it to them, and they came back to us about a week later and basically said, we've got the early access, please don't publish this interview yet, we'll have to rearrange one. So I was kind of gutted, because I thought, well, I've just wasted all this time. You know, it wasn't ideal, but that was that. And unfortunately, because of that, I deleted it. I don't have access to this interview anymore, not a clue where it's gone. I spent ages trying to dig around for it, and the only evidence I have that this interview ever took place was the email basically telling us not to publish the video. That was it. However, to make up for this, they did end up giving us a few keys for the early access game on Steam to give to a couple of friends so we could play, test it, make more videos, so on and so forth. And they actually then they'd added a surprise for me. I did not know what this would entail, but it will be on the screen for you now. What they had left in the game for me was the Cledgefish. The motherfucking Cledgefish. I was honestly, like, completely mind blown by this. This was like the coolest thing that had ever happened to me. In fact, to be honest, it's still probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. So I still have a lot of gratitude to the developers for this. Unfortunately, it's no longer actually in the game. So, on the other hand, get fucked. But it was just a really cool thing for a kid to have their name in a game. A fish. For them. Now, it wasn't long before some of the bigger YouTubers started picking this game up in early 2016. The list of these include Pungence, Umperville, Kindly Kean, the Gaming Beaver, there were so many, and let's not forget the King of the Irish himself, Jacksepticeye.
Cheaper fish? Yeah, because you're only 5. I have 0, really. You're 25, and I can get to the catfish again, which is 50. What does the raptor ability have? Your velocity is converted into bonus damage on next hit. That's shit.
There's something about seeing the Cledgefish in a Jacksepticeye video and then just watching him gloss over it and completely ignore it that's ever so slightly heartbreaking, I can't lie. Anyway, although this content was coming out in 2016 and was really popular, the actual player count shows the polar opposite. The average player count throughout the whole of 2016 doesn't get any higher than about 90. In fact, it didn't peak over 100 until April 2017. But weirdly, the actual peak of players in the game at one time didn't happen until the year of lockdown. December 2020, the game peaked at 1,046 players, which is weirdly impressive considering it had been on Steam for 4 years at this point. Now, I would have loved to have shown you what the game looked like today, but it's actually so broken, I can't even open it. I can't find a fix, I've tried verifying files, there's a launcher that doesn't really work, so I'm just going to have to recycle old footage that I'd already recorded for other videos. However, as you can see from the footage, the game does look a lot better than what it did in the alpha version that you saw earlier on in the video, and I really wish that this was still getting updated. and that they, actually fixed it so we could play the game, because there's so many people on the Steam discussion just going, I can't open it, give me my money. And you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough to them, I say. Now, we've had no official confirmation that the game is dead, but it's pretty safe to say that it's very unlikely we're going to get another update in the future. The last update to the game was December 24th, 2021, which they did their yearly Christmas update. The update before that was a Halloween challenge, which they did every year, and somehow managed to make late. It came out in November, it didn't even come out on Halloween. But the last actual proper content update hasn't been since late 2020, and we haven't heard anything from the developers at all since late 2021, so I'm pretty certain that we probably won't hear anything else from them for the foreseeable future. Which, honestly, is really heartbreaking. I would have loved to have seen this game come out of early access, release in full. I mean, I will forever be grateful to this game for giving me the smallest step up into the internet world, and I think it's a great game. I just wish that the developers thought that too. And that pretty much summarizes my thoughts and facts on Feed and Grow Fish. Thank you all very much for sticking around and watching this video. If you enjoyed, please press like, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, all the usual mumbo jumbo. I will see you all in next week's video.
Oh, no. No. No.